I'm Professor Quill. Tonight, I'll show you a room where a man entered and completely vanished. No doors, no windows, just silence. How could he disappear? Stay with me, and you'll learn not only the mystery, but also 10 English words hidden in this story. Tonight, I want to tell you about a room. Not a special room, not a magical room, just a normal room in a small hotel near the sea. But one night, a man entered this room and never came out. The arrival. The hotel was old but clean. It had 3 floors, a small dining room, and a quiet hallway on each floor. People came here to rest, not to think. On a cold evening in November, a man arrived at the front desk. He was tall, thin, and very calm. He wore a dark coat and carried no bag. "I need a room for one night," he said. The hotel manager, Mrs. Alden, looked at the guest book. "We have only one room left, room 308. "That will be fine," the man replied. She gave him the key. Room 308 was at the end of the hallway on the 3rd floor. Before the man left, Mrs. Alden asked a simple question. "Will you need a wake-up call?" The man smiled slightly. "No," he said. "I will leave early." That was the last normal thing that happened that night. The locked door. At 11:30 p.m., a hotel guest on the 3rd floor heard a strange sound. It was not loud. It was not a scream. It sounded like a chair moving or falling. The guest opened his door and looked into the hallway. Everything was quiet. The next morning, Mrs. Alden noticed something strange. The key to room 308 was still on the desk. The man had never returned it. "That's odd," she thought. She went upstairs and stood in front of room 308. The door was closed. She knocked. No answer. She knocked again. Still nothing. Finally, she used her master key and tried to open the door. It did not move. The door was locked from the inside. Inside the room. The police arrived 20 minutes later. They broke the lock and entered the room. The room was empty. The bed was made. The window was closed. The bathroom was dry. There was no suitcase, no clothes, no personal items. Only one thing was strange. A chair lay on its side in the middle of the room. "That explains the noise," one officer said. "But where is the man?" another asked. There was no second door, no hidden exit, no broken window. The room was a box, and the box was empty. No way out. I was called 2 days later. When I entered room 308, I felt something unusual. Not fear, not danger, but silence. I walked slowly around the room. I touched the walls. I checked the floor. I opened the window. Nothing. "This room has no secret doors," the officer said. "We checked everything." Then the question is simple. How did he leave? Or, more importantly, did he leave at all? The witnesses. I spoke to everyone in the hotel. Mrs. Alden saw the man enter the room. No one saw him leave. The guest who heard the noise was sure of the time, 11:30 p.m. No one heard footsteps. No one heard the door open. One detail caught my attention. The hallway camera stopped working at 11:20 p.m. It started again at 12:10 a.m. a 50-minute gap. An accident or something planned? A small detail. I returned to the room alone. I sat on the bed and looked around. Then I noticed something small, very small. A mark on the wall behind the door. It looked like a line, thin, clean, as if something had pressed against the wall and moved. I measured the distance from the mark to the floor. It was too high for a chair, too low for a man standing. I looked at the chair again. Then I understood. The illusion. The chair was not used to sit. It was used to climb. Above the door was a small square panel, not visible from the hallway, painted the same color as the wall. A service panel. The hotel plans showed it clearly, but no one had checked it. The man had stood on the chair. He opened the panel. Inside was a narrow space between the walls. Not a tunnel, not a passage, just enough room to move, slowly, carefully. He climbed inside, closed the panel, and waited. The escape. At 12:05 a.m., a maintenance worker entered the building. He opened a side door connected to the service walls. No camera, no guard. The man inside the wall heard the sound. He pushed the panel from the inside, dropped down, and walked out of the hotel. No one saw him because no one was looking. The truth. The room was never impossible. It only looked impossible. The mystery was not magic. It was design. A room that made people stop thinking. And that is the most dangerous kind of room.
Final words. Before I left the hotel, I stood again in room 308. I imagined the man waiting inside the wall, in the dark, in silence, smiling. Some mysteries disappear, not because they are unsolved, but because we stop asking the right questions. Vocabulary words. Number 1, witness. Number 2, evidence. Number 3, suspect. Number 4, clue. Number 5, investigate. Number 6, disappear. Number 7, locked. Number 8, escape. Number 9, truth. Number 10, hallway. Quiz 1. Why did the police think the room was impossible? A. The window was broken. B. The door was locked from the inside. C. There was blood in the room. Quiz 2. What does witness mean in the story? A. Someone who sleeps. B. Someone who sees an event. C. Someone who cleans rooms. Quiz 3. What was the real reason the man escaped? A. Magic. B. Luck. C. People ignored small details.